Hey again, I'm Adam Roberts, the Executive Director of Bethesda Green, and I'm pleased to have a time to chat today with Eugene Faison of Dgrid Energy. How you doing, Eugene?
I'm well, Adam. Good to see you.
You as well. I know it's weird times, and you've done great work since you've been involved in the Bethesda Green Innovation Lab and one of our graduates now in our residency program. So maybe you can tell me a little bit about how you're holding up during these odd times personally.
Well, oh, holding up personally, I'm
Yeah,
fine. My family won't let me go out the door.
probably
So
smart.
they're doing all the shopping, they're doing everything. So what I do is get a chance to work in the yard and do work, which I do most of the time anyway. So everything is good.
Good, good. Well, I was thinking about doing these videos as a way of sharing with people who might be interested in eco entrepreneurship and not have a chance because of social distancing right now to get in the Bethesda Green office or to come to one of our events. This is a good opportunity to share what we're doing and what our entrepreneurs are doing. And you've got such an interesting business model for folks who may be watching this from home at this time on social media, but who haven't become familiar with your work. Maybe you could talk a little bit about what Dgrid does as a way of introducing yourself to the Bethesda Green community who aren't already familiar with what you do.
Well, thank you. That's a great idea. I thought when I first got your ping about you thinking about doing this, that it was a wonderful idea. So I compliment you and Bethesda Green for engaging in this way. In reference to Dgrid Energy, we are a small enterprise. We're in our fourth year now after coming through, starting in 2016. We manufacture cold chain solutions that are utilized for preserving post-harvest loss, for storing fish, for storing dairy products, anything that requires temperature sensitive management. We manufacture products for that solution. It consists of a 20 cubic meter, which is 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet, cool cube that is solar powered, and you're able to add to it by taking out the back and bumping up another 20 cubic meter system. So we have systems in installation around the country and the world that are 20 cubic meters, 40, 60, 80 cubic meter systems. And that's what we primarily do.
Excellent.
We've just added a new product that we're building. We're just signing the contract to build out at the University of the District of Columbia, connected to the solar cool cube there, which is a 60 cubic meter cool cube, where we'll be building a USDA approved washing station. So the farm, which is 150 acres, when they get their crops, they'll be able to go into this washing station and clean the products and then store them in the cool cube, and it's directly connected to it. So it's a new product that we were glad to sell to them, but also develop for the marketplace.
That's excellent. So it seems like you're still doing really good work and still evolving in the applications of your product. I mean, when we first met and talked about your work, I immediately thought about some of my time in Africa and how having this solar powered refrigeration unit that can be used for vegetables from local village farmers or medicines for a rural hospital would be so valuable. But it seems as though you're continually adapting the types of uses for your product.
Well, we're discovering that there are, refrigeration and the cold chain is so critical to development and to economic development in particular, that we've been able to expand on our basic solar cool cube model and have now gotten into food systems, because all food systems require some type of preservation of their product. So we've expanded that, and we're excited about what the prospects look like. And then we ran into COVID-19.
Hmm. Yeah. And so, I mean, I know you do a lot of traveling, meeting with different governments who might be able to use your technology. How has this time in our history affected the trajectory of your business, or what your profile is? Has it been impactful, or have you just adapted because you're a nimble entrepreneur?
Well, I thank you for that compliment. Thank you very much. We've had to adapt. We can't travel. You know, we have a pipeline that is throughout Africa. We were closing in on a really interesting project in the Democratic Republic of the Congo for one of the governors there to build a cold storage facility for his province for fisheries.
Hmm.
And we've had to delay that, obviously, because you just can't travel. And we wouldn't want to travel. I wouldn't want to subject any of our people to traveling at this point in time.
Sure.
The unfortunate, out of darkness comes light. The unfortunate thing that occurred that allowed us to make a small pivot is that we decided to focus on U.S.
Hmm.
and on food systems here. So as I explained to you, we have this one washing station we're about to sign with the University of District of Columbia. But we also reached out to the U.S. Corps of Army Engineers to offer our systems as a place for descendants, a morgue, a
Hmm.
morgue. And I'm actually responding this morning to a request for 250 morgues that are part of a joint project we have with a company in Michigan that makes a nanogrid. And they provide this nanogrid, and we provide the refrigeration systems, and we're able to have an autonomous deployment of a morgue or refrigeration systems that could be utilized as a morgue that could store up to 16 decedents.
Hmm.
So there seems to be interest in that because of just the overwhelming need, unfortunately, of a place to store our loved ones or loved ones in a way that shows some caring and concern.
Yeah, that's good to hear. A tragic necessity, as it were, given the
Right.
time that we're in. Uh,
Exactly.
so,
Exactly.
a tough question then, Eugene. Looking sort of into your crystal ball for the rest of the year, let's just say that in a couple of months, a few months, at some point over the summer, perhaps things get back to somewhat normal,
Right.
and you're able to go back to your original business model and your focus. What do you think the prospects for success are this year? What might be your big win in 2020 as a company?
Well, that's a great question too. We were waiting for we have an agreement. When I say that, it's not a written agreement, but it's a verbal agreement with the Japanese government to do 10 to 25 installations in South Sudan. We
Mm.
don't get the easy assignments. So
Hmm.
they wanted to provide solar cool cubes, 20 cubic meter solar cool cubes to throughout South Sudan because they work in conflict areas and they're
Hmm.
trying to spur the economic development there. So we were waiting for that to occur towards the middle of the year. So hopefully that will come forward, but you don't know. You don't know. So that's one thing we're waiting on. We do have this opportunity in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I'm sure that'll come back online because there's so much need there. And we just had a very exciting meeting with a investment fund that supports financially fisheries in Indonesia and in the Philippines. And they contacted us. We actually met with them over a year ago. and they contacted us and said they're now ready to proceed.
Hmm.
So once the the COVID-19 situation becomes manageable and travel can begin, we're working with them now to do the feasibility to determine the size of the system and the type of system they want, because they want to offer their firm, they're going to invest in their local firm in Indonesia and have them buy our systems to provide ice and refrigeration for the fisheries they support.
Well, that's all hugely exciting and encouraging, Eugene. It sounds like you've got a product with diverse applications and global resonance. So I think this could be a breakout year for Dgrid, or at least I hope so.
Yeah, well, we certainly hope so too. We're ready. It's we're in our 4th year. I think we beta tested, we've deployed, we've done demonstration, we've got research grants, we're doing research on our systems. So we're now just ready to scale.
Yeah, excellent. So we're going to post this interview to update people on all of our social media channels and our website, and then hopefully we can post updates throughout the year so folks who are particularly interested in what you're doing can come back and find out how you've proceeded in hitting all these ambitious targets. Remind everybody what your website is in case they want to check you out directly and learn more about what you do.
Thank you so much, Adam. It's Dgrid Energy. Our website is www.dgrid, the letter D, grid, G-R-I-D, energy.com, all one word.
Excellent. Good, Eugene. Listen, thanks for taking some time to talk to me about all this and share your updates with everybody watching. And we'll keep in touch throughout the year and see how you get on.
Adam, it's great to see you, and continue to do the great work you're doing.
Thanks. You as well. And wash your hands.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.